Hello, hello, hello. This is GT Angel again, here with my Dominions 5 playthrough of Middle-Aged Sceleria in a multiplayer game. To remind you where we were last time, it was turn 8. So I was in this position. I don't have the commands I gave in the turn, but I believe it was I'm going after Ashdod. Yeah. So I am nervous about Ashdod. I want to pressure them into accepting a non-aggression pact with prior borders. So to reinforce, I didn't want to ask for a non-aggression pact right away because I didn't want to give away that I was like worried and thinking about them, and I really didn't want them to reinforce these locations. Like I don't want them to put down like a bunch of PD. I don't want them to grab some units from their capital and move them out. I don't want them to move units from like somewhere else. I probably should have just asked for a non-aggression pact earlier in the game and then prepared myself to fight if they said no. But I didn't want to get bullied out. So I didn't want them to... I was really worried they would say, I'll do non-aggression if you give me like these three or like these provinces as a border. And I thought I could do better than that. The fact that I don't know what all their armies are doing also spooks me. I don't know if they've like hit a wall over here. So like if they ran into another player over here and can't expand anymore, then they have to fight someone. So I don't want to... Like, I don't know that. I don't know if they're going to be committed to me or if they just want to be left alone. And if I didn't see these units here, I would have not done this, but these units look like they are going to attack me, because they're either going after this horse tribe, or they're going after me. There's basically no other reason for them to be here. So they could have been going after this province. So if they were, like, over here, then it's reasonable to go 1, 2, 3, as opposed to 1, 2, 3. But if they're going anywhere else, it makes more sense to go up through their capital to the west. So yeah, I'm spooked, and I still don't know if anyone's over here. I've still only seen a single player, Ashdod, which is great considering... Oh, no! I saw Agartha. So, Agartha, I also want peace with. I think I sent them a message. I want a non-aggression pact with them. We have a single province border. I have some units around, so I feel pretty safe. But yeah, so the only player I have really strong contact with right now is Ashdod, who is awful to be against. They are strong early on, from what I understand. Spooky giants. To take a look. Yeah, so they've got... These are what they have near me, Seshai Anakites. So big Sacred Berserkers, 50 hit points, size 5. Not what I want to deal with. So, how does turn 9 go? So, I have some Macemen going after some independents. Don't remember where this is. But I think I tested this and that it works. Yeah, it looked like a spooky amount of things at the start, but these units are good. I take one of Ashdod's provinces with no resistance, so it's great. I'd attempt to take this horse tribe cavalry province. I've got a bunch of undead. So, I believe I lose this fight. Oh, no, I get it. So my undead worked fine. Good. Yeah. So these are undead that were essentially free. Like, they take cultist turns, but... Like, I lose 5 of them, but that's 2 cultists for a turn. So, basically nothing. And then my... So here, that is Ashdod. These are my units. These are my units. So, turns out I was right. Ashdod did, in fact, want to fight me. So, they have 6 Anakites and a Cohen. So this does give me an opportunity, though. I can see the Bless. And it's magic resistance +3. So what this means is that there is some dormant Bless that they have that is going to come out on turn 12 or so that is going to be terrifying. Because there's no reason you would do a... You would not do an imprisoned all-incarnate Bless or heavy incarnate Bless, and you definitely wouldn't do just magic resistance +3. So it's got to be a bunch of incarnate stuff that isn't available yet that is going to come out and beat me up. But this does mean that until turn 12 or so, I'm not dealing with sacreds that are that have a spooky Bless. And hey, I take the other province with no defense, so Ashdod did not put any PD. Then I get some misfortune, which is not good. So I believe last turn I sent a message in-game saying, hey, do you want to go back to prior borders? Like, I don't want to fight you. Yeah, so here's where I sent. Yeah, I went up north here. So I sent that message in-game. What I should have done, so what I absolutely should have done is as soon as this turn rolled, I should have sent a message in Discord asking the same thing so that I could make this turn or decide this turn with that in mind. Because I believe what I do is go like over there, go back there. Like I think I do something like that. And then more bad news. This is yes. So yes is a water nation, which means they're in one of these water things, which means they have a lot of provinces for free that I can't touch for a long time. But the thing is, Yes has these things. They are expensive, sacred cavalry. They are glamored. They have high defense skill. When they get on land, they transform into horses with a fire breath that has a AoE, I believe. They have a lot of damage. So this is a terrifying, like, early sacred rush nation that is hard. I can't really fight against well because they're gonna... Yeah, I see them here too, so... Like, assuming they have this water province, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at least, which is, like, not scary, but it's assuming they don't have this or any of this or anything up here. So, these are the two nations I did not want to border when the game started, and I'm next to them, so that's amazing. And I can't see if there's any units in any of these, because the Sacred Cav is glamored, so I don't know. So this province is super scary to go after, because even if I have enough units to take it, I don't know if there's going to be a group of, like, 8 Sacred Cav that come and murder all my stuff. So I believe I go over like this, and I was going to build a palisade, but I don't want to do that when I could get Sacred Caved. So yeah. So Ashdod, I sent them the message in game. I plan for them to keep going. I think I go like that too. And I've got a bunch of units at home. I have made a lot of gladiators. These are going up over here. I have... Oh, I got my profit with all but the undead, so... I think I'm going like there or something. Or no, I think I go there to try to bait. Or maybe there. Yeah, I think I bring everyone back here because I'm still building this palisade. I want to protect it. So if those Anakites go into that farm, I want to be able to be safe. So I believe this is what I had. But it's spooky. There's a slave market here, which is really cool. 3 blood slaves. Unrest is bad, but blood slaves. Yeah, and I also, like, I still don't have any provinces with scouts. Even Ashdod's provinces don't have scouts, so struggling there a bit. And one thing I think I forgot about, Black Servant requires death too, so I'm going to need one of my Grand Thaumaturgs to do that, which is unfortunate. I think it's this turn, but it might be next turn that I get Agartha agrees to an NAP. So I do get a non-aggression pact with them, NAP 3. So I'm pleased with that. This is a pretty safe border. So yeah, just to talk about the map a little bit, like, Agartha starts in the caves down here. I don't remember if I knew that or if at some point it's mentioned in the game chat that Agartha's down here. So that's an awkward starting spot. You probably get a bunch of the caves easily, but then you've got these weird one-tile connections. It does make sense that Agartha's down there because they like caves, like their nation does, and they are probably the best nation to start down there. Anyone else would be really screwed by all the cave provinces, but Agartha might like that. But it's still awkward. And you can see I've got my gems going up a little bit. So, how does this continue? I don't want to go after the capital. I don't think I can take that PD. Yeah, so I just want to do some raiding. I want to be annoying. So, no, I didn't mean to save. Turn 10. So here from Ashdod. So I get a message. Non-aggression pact 3. Return to original borders. So we should have done this over Discord instead of waiting to do it in game, because it does mean that we did a turn awkwardly. But it's our first game. I also haven't played any Dominions before, so makes sense. But in the meantime, Ashdod retakes one of their provinces. And so I go after one of Ashdod's. It has a good amount of PD. And these things find my priest. So this is a reasonable amount of PD. Like, it makes sense, but it's unfortunate. And here, I believe I just forgot to set units to attack rear. And turns out Anakites are really good. Yeah, so what I wanted to do was have units on attack rear to hit this thing, but I think I've messed that up. So this is actually really bad. But luckily, we're friendly now. Oh, and I do take this province. Oh, so I moved these units in further. So I think I sent some units back here. I sent some squad over here, and then my skeletons up here. So if Ashdod had pushed, this would actually have been kind of rough, but luckily, we're good. So these units, I think I let them die. And we go back to original borders, which I believe was me having this. And I think, I don't know if it happens this turn or next, but I think I let Ashdod keep this and they pay me a bit of money. I figure I don't want to push my luck too much after I just lost an army. So yeah, at this point, I feel really, really good. I'm still spooked about Yis, I believe, but I feel really, really, really good over this. I'm like, oh man, I'm not fighting Ashdod. I can just do expansion. Oh, I have some of my instructions here. Huh. So I'm going to be finishing up my palisade here. I need to get, yeah, I get a thaumaturg needs to go up there. So one thing I noticed, I got a horse tribe chief here to, I think I was going to build a fort here. And he's diseased. So there are a few sites that cause disease. So I figured, dang, I got one. So I'm going to have to send, I think, Death 3 over here. So I'm going to get some Death Gems out of that, but it does mean that this province is annoying, because anything that goes through that could get diseased, which actually ends up being a real annoyance. So like getting up to here, normally it's 1, 2, but if I want to avoid that province, I gotta go 1, 2, 3, or actually need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, because of this river. Right now it's frozen, but it's not frozen all the time. And if I want to go like up here, I have to go all the way around. And if I start using water-breathing items or swimming items, like, still makes it awful. So it's an awkward spot for that, but this turn, though, I'm pleased. Very pleased. And I'm very not pleased about this fight. And I'm very not pleased about this fight, but I'm very pleased with the peace, and losing some units is fine. So, turns out, Yes does not have this. I don't know if they skipped it and just went over, but, or if they lost it to an event, but I'm still spooked about Yes. But I took this province. So, a bunch of Elites, some gladiators in the back. Sleep Cloud puts a couple people to sleep, but tribesmen run pretty quickly. And no! One of the Rotarius gets a thing. Then I think I get an event, some wolves. Nope. So, lose one Rotarius in the first thing, I believe, and then 3 Velites. Yeah. And I also spent money last turn buying two mercs, which I should have. So I didn't know before that you could set where the mercs spawn, so they spawn down here, I believe, which is unfortunate. But right now my goal is I want to get this province if I can. And then I want to take as much of this as I can real quick before Yis starts taking over. And I'm really scared that Yis is gonna like attack one of these provinces with a bunch of Glamored Cav and win a bump and then start rolling over me. So I have to be really careful. But my first engagement with another player, another human being, and it goes pretty alright. Like, it would have maybe gone bad if it continued, but it didn't, so good. So I do think that if this wasn't a noob game, there's a good chance that Ashdod doesn't make a peace deal and just attacks me more. Like, I do think there's a good chance that Ashdod might have expanded slowly over here and they might have been able to just bully me. Like, they might have been able to chat with me and be like, hey, I want these provinces unless you... And, like, I'll give you an NAP if I get them, but otherwise I'm gonna smack you. Like, they could have tried to throw around their weight as big Sheshai Anikate nation. But I'm not sure. I haven't played them. But I know I was scared of that, so I'm glad to see that not happening. So now we go on to turn 11. So a messenger for... Oh, so now I get my NAP with Agartha, so very happy. I get some money from Ashdod. Yeah, this is an agreement for the one province that's diagonal from their capital. And a messenger from Yis. So they tell me they will agree to an NAP 3. And they want 50, 53, and 54. So I'll look at the rest of this real quick. So I do see with a scout a battle of Yis. So this is important. It lets me know their blessing. And then I'm terrified. Morale +1 is everywhere, or everyone gets that, but attack +4, shock resistance +10, poison resistance +15, cold resist +5, defense +2, strength +6, dark vision 50. So the standard resistance gamut, but attack +4, strength +6, defense +2. This thing has 21 defense, 18 attack, 19 strength, and when they're on the ground, or when they're in the land, they have 3 attacks, lance, hoof, and 1 AoE breath that does fire damage. These things are terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And they have a ton of map move. Oh, that's the leader version. Let me see if I can find... a blessed non-leader. Yeah, so 20 defense, 17 attack, 18 strength, 14 health. So still the 3 attacks, 22 map move, 24 combat speed. Like, still terrifying. And the big thing here is that defense skill of 20 with the glamour means that it's going to be really hard for me to do anything to these. And the fact that they have 3, like, they're going to kill things. These things can essentially kill an infinite number of skeletons. So this is... There's a reason I didn't want to be next to Yis. Like, there's definitely stuff I can do. Their MR is 14, their magic resist, so that is rough, but I can hit them with MR negate stuff. Apostasy is going to be pretty unlikely, but smites, mind burns. So this is a reason to go evocation instead of enchantment. Spamming out evocations against these, you will hit stuff. This is a reason to have arcane finesse. An 11 is a lot easier to hit with than a 10, or I think it's a 12 instead of an 11. Yeah, you can see these knights just demolish these things. Like, managed to get an attack. But, yeah. Here, I think I go up, and we run into the same province. So, like, my units just don't do anything. And then it's just, making up the agreement. Ashdod taking their stuff back. So, I do believe I say, look, I'm going to be taking 54 to Yis. Like, this is important to me. But I'm going to let them have the other stuff. They want 50 and 53. So I say, like, you can take 50 if you let me take 54, which is pretty gutsy, but if I can't take this, it's really rough for me. And I'm, like, I have this big army here. Like, I have 78 units that want to go there. And they do agree to that. I forget if I have to pay them or not, but... So, here I want to take... Or let me actually real quick see if there's any other message. Oh, I get my palisades done. So I start a palisade over here. Yeah, so here I want to step back and talk about the state of the game a little bit. It's turn 11. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 provinces. I'm going to get up to 16 if I take this one. And if I look at the score graph, you can see my province graph went up, went down. And I'm going to get one more province, and then it's going to stay there. But you can see, like, I've been there before, kind of, like a couple turns ago. So, this is a game where I've definitely feel like I've been lucky in that Yis and Ashdod have decided to agree to non-aggression pacts. I kind of wish that I had gotten that earlier so that I could not have one with Agartha, and then I could maybe try to fight them instead. But as it stands, I don't feel comfortable canceling an NAP because Agartha can bring all their stuff right here. So my plan for the next turn are going to be to just take 54 and chill, get up a bunch of forts, some infrastructure. Going to be building a temple here, building other forts. Yeah, so I think it's like, I think I want a temple. Here I need these units to just get out of here. Like, these units don't do anything anymore because I'm taking up another province and then doing nothing, so they can just do whatever. I think yeah, I'm building a palisade here. I think I build another one here. Grab a couple more cultists. And I'm gonna want thing here. I think it's something like this is what I do. But, so the state of the game. I'm next to Ashdod and Yis, which is awful because they can easily gank. So one thing I was worried about as well that I forgot to mention, I was worried that Yis or Ashdod would talk to the other because they could see that they're like bordering and agree to eat me together, because that would be a really strong thing for them to do. I could maybe hold off one of them if I knew what I was doing. I could probably deal with Ashdod. But Yis, I don't know if I would have been able to deal with. Like, my research is just going to start kicking in now. Like, I could smite Communion. Like, but it would be really rough. But if they work together, I don't think there's anything I could do. So I was very glad about that, but it's definitely an awkward position I'm in. I'm boxed in by Ashdod. I'm boxed in by Yis. And I expanded really fast. It's just that part of it's part of it is that the terrain here means I can't get to different parts of my empire very easily. If I have a unit on this fort and it's not winter, if I want to go over here and like take this barbarian, I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 provinces away. So like you can think of it as I'm almost like a single long strip that goes all the way around like this. So these are actually not close at all. So it means that when I had to deal with Ashdod over here and I wanted to bring troops over here, it means that I essentially can't go over here at all with those troops for a long time. So that gives a lot of room for Yis to show up. And it's also rough that it's Yis over there and Ashdod over here, in that I was dealing with Ashdod and I couldn't commit to stuff against Yis very well because, or to expansion very well, because I don't know where Yis's units are. Like, I did even get a scout over here, who's up here right now looking at the throne. But because of the glamored units, I can't, like, I couldn't send a squad into this barbarian group and expect it to work, because there's a good chance there's just some glamored units that come in, and I really didn't want to risk losing units and opening myself up to a war when I wasn't comfortable with what I was doing with Ashdod yet. But definitely part of it is not building scouts earlier meant I didn't know what to expect over here or up here. I didn't even know that Yis was over here for a long time. Part of it is I don't have any scouts down here, so I don't know if Agartha has like a bunch. If Agartha has a bunch of units right here, like I want a non-aggression pact. If they have almost nothing over here and everything over here doing something, I don't want a non-aggression pact. So the scouting is an issue, and me not chatting in Discord and using in-game and being scared of being bullied, I don't know how much that helped and hurt, because I feel like it meant that I wasn't opening myself up to a PD dump here, a PD dump here, a few units in each, and my raid squads are dead, and I get no NAP, and they just run at me. And I don't know if, like, if I had talked about an NAP earlier, they might have been like, no, I'm just going to send units over there unless you give me stuff. So I'm not sure about how much my caginess protected me from that kind of thing, from reaction and reprisal. But at the same time, I also definitely lost out in that I didn't know I would have a non-aggression pact with Ashdod for a very long time. And so I had to prepare like I was going to get attacked. And that meant I couldn't expand over here. And altogether, that means that the combination of terrain and neighbors made it really hard for me to expand. Like, I still expanded really well, but if I knew I had a non-aggression pact with Ashdod, and I could send another unit squad over here, I could have taken this earlier, or I could have taken this earlier, and then maybe I can go up to here, or maybe I can take both of these if I move faster, or maybe I could even get into the caves a little bit, like, but my units got so caught up over here. It's rough. And the terrain is just super rough. Like, that's gonna be a common theme for this map. Like, these rivers. Like, I think this map is interesting, but I overall think it has some issues that need fixed. There is an updated version, I think, that fixes some issues. Like, one is I think it doesn't have an underwater start. Because I definitely think this is a map that needs 2 underwater nations or none. Because, like, there's just too many water provinces for Yis to get for free. But anyway, enough salt about the map. Like, I still, like, don't get me wrong, like, this was the first game I've been in, and, like, it was a newer game for the host, I believe. The host being the MA Man player, actually. And, like, I still had a good time. Like, and I definitely could have done a lot better if I played better. And, like, I'm not gonna spoil, like, if I won or lost yet, or, like, if it's still going. Like, this game has finished. But, like, definitely, I think if this was, like, all expert players, I think this map is probably bad as it is, and affects things too much. But for us being newer, like, this being a new game, like, play is gonna matter more than that, honestly. And now, done to that aside, I forgot, but because I'm in this, I can also see that Yis started right here. So Yis is my western neighbor, confirmed. They are the one that is meant to take this chunk of the world. And I can see they have this up here. So yeah, I still don't know who's over here. So one thing also, I wish I could have known who was over here earlier so that I could potentially talk to them about Ashdod. Seeing that these are all independent is weird. I would have expected someone to have taken them already, but maybe Ashdod slowed down a lot to deal with me too. But I'm surprised that there's 3 indie provinces over here still. Down here, not as much, because the only people that can get here are people that can cross water, or go through a throne, or Agartha, who is down here. But yeah, that is turn 11. So we'll go take a look at turn 12. So I searched for magic sites, but didn't find any. I get to see a battle from Ashdod. I think I still don't see their bless. Yeah. But they take something easily. Yes, take something easily. And like I said, I'm like, look, I got a big army. I need to use it. Skeletons in front, Bellites in back. We got the +1 morale, or I think from this, right? Yeah. So, heavy cav. This is what skeletons are made for. Dying to heavy cav. There is a priest back here, but gets murked by a bunch of skeletons. So yeah. So that is also like showing a use of the armored skeletons up in front with some of the good ones there, and the unarmored skeletons going for the sneaky ambush play. Probably could have put them on just attack instead of hold and attack, but it is what it is. And here I lose some population. I get some blood slaves. And I patrol. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just set this guy to patrol because it doesn't matter. It's also good that he gets diseased and replaced a little bit. Yeah, this... So only some of my stuff is saved. That's weird. Like, I'm definitely searching with this, my Grand Thaumaturg that I got. I didn't see last turn. Gonna be getting more of those, I'm sure. Yeah, I've got a unit here, so I want to build a palisade there, I think. Moving over a priest. So I think this turn, my plan is build a palisade up here. Build a cultist here. Like spawn undead. All my units don't really have anything to do, so I think I just preach here just to get my dominion stronger. Like, I have peace with all my neighbors. This place is... Yes is going to take that. I still do not have any scouts anywhere. Over here, I can see that Agartha has broken out of the underground. So they have this. They can pick up this over here. So I think I don't know if it's now or later, but I send some messages to Agartha saying like, hey, maybe we can do something. We can work together against Ashdod at some point. Like I'm not asking for anything like immediate or committal, but it's like, hey, we both border Ashdod. We both have an interest in Ashdod being dead. Maybe after we do a bunch of infrastructure, we could do something about that. Just feeling it out. Because Ashdod, or Agartha's going to need to deal with a throne, or me, or Ashdod at some point. Or they could go up here through Yis, but that would be really awkward. But at this point, I have peace with all my neighbors. So my goal is just to build as many forts and temples and labs as I can. I wish I could have more, but yeah. So the final count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 provinces from expansion. I could definitely have done more if I was not boxed in and had awkward terrain dealing with the west and east part of my empire here, but it is what it is. So the plan is just forts, cultists, grand thaumaturgs. Don't need any units because I got too many units here already. I got undeads being summoned. If you look at the mercs, you can see that Jotunheim has some of them. But yeah, so the expansion phase has ended, and it is now time to slow down a bit and just do infrastructure. So I'm going to stop this episode here, and next turn we will start taking a look at the infrastructure mid-game. So I will see you then.